With Bruce Kirk, Kathy Adams, Mike Lyons weather, Fred McLeod's sports, Joe Weaver's perspective, and the Eyewitness News team.
Good evening. When you are hot, you're hot. And tonight, Ford is definitely hot. The giant motor company reporting almost $5 billion in profits for 1987. That's a record in the automotive business. It is also up more than $1 billion from just last year.
And our automotive reporter, George Sells, is live at the Glass House, the Ford World Headquarters in Dearborn with the latest. George?
Kathy and Bruce, some people here at Ford Motor Company are waiting tonight for even more good news. They're waiting for official notification that 35,000 union members on strike against Ford in England have voted to end their strike. Now, the voting over in England by union members was to end about 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's believed that Ford Motor Company delayed announcing these record profits until the voting had been completed over in England. Why? Well, why wave a red flag when a sensitive union economic issue is being decided? Because Ford is already waving a red flag at its competitors. Remember when we told General Motors workers they wouldn't be getting any profit sharing at all? One lady said she wasn't surprised.
But my dad always said Ford had a better idea.
And when it comes to profits, they may be right. Ford's total profits for the year were $4.63 billion, an increase of 41% over last year. That's on total worldwide sales of $72 billion. How does Ford stack up against the competition? There are Ford's figures. General Motors, $3.5 billion, and Chrysler about $1.25 billion. Before taxes, Ford actually made more money than GM and Chrysler combined. But with all the good news, Ford is still making cuts, especially in white collar.
We're cutting back as attrition occurs in the white-collar area, and we have been able to reduce our white-collar salaried personnel force for 34 consecutive quarters. The whole purpose, of course, is if there is a downturn ever comes, we hope to avoid any major cutbacks at that time.
And what about profit sharing for employees?
Profit sharing ought to be very good. Our employees are going to love the profit sharing.
And things just keep looking good for Ford. It's apparent the strike by 32,000 Ford workers in Great Britain will be ending, though Ford bought peace by offering huge pay raises by present-day standards. And Ford puts a new high-performance car on the market in 3 months. Priced at $11,000, it has potential for explosive sales. But the big boys at General Motors are launching 3 potential hot sellers. And the top man at GM insists he's not envious.
No, I think Ford's doing a great job, and I congratulate them, and I'm just delighted to see them doing well. We're all in the country together. We need to keep our industry strong all across there.
But you plan to catch up?
Well, we'll all have our day at bat, as it turns out.
As for the rank and file at Ford, how about those super profits?
I'm going to get a nice profit-sharing check, yeah. But after Ronald Reagan, after Jim Blanchard, after Coleman Young, and everybody else gets done with my check, what's left for me? And I'm working my butt off to make this company some money, and I'm not getting nothing for it. Big deal.
Ford is doing very, very well. They're building the best car that's being made. I worked hard for the bonus. My union has worked hard for me to get that bonus. I might even buy a new boat with it.
Some other negative comments came out this afternoon after Ford released its profits. Some financial analysts were disappointed. They thought Ford would do better than this all-time record. Now, a key thing to remember here, how does all this affect you and me? You know, in Detroit, whether you sell pizzas or do television newscasts, the automobile business affects us. It was kind of disappointing to find out last week that General Motors, the biggest car company in the world, made no money on automobile operations in the United States. Well, we got word today that Ford, as best we can glean from these figures, Ford in the United States and Canada made more than $2 billion on just the automobile business. So things looking up in Motown.
George, we mentioned, or you mentioned in that piece, one of the Ford executives talking about the fact of the possibility of a downturn. We all know in this business how it goes up and down, very cyclical. Is Ford really prepared for what will happen with that and the days when maybe we won't have these big fat profits?
I think all the analysts and the people here at Ford also say Ford is absolutely prepared. One analyst told me one time, Bruce, that Ford could do a million things wrong. I mean, but they would have to make an Edsel to really destroy what they've got now. They have $10 billion in cash right now. Ford, by the way, does not expect a recession in the coming year. Lee Iacocca does, but the people at Ford are a little bit more upbeat. But if it does come, they say they're ready.
Okay.
They certainly have cushioned themselves. Thank you very much. Our George Sells reporting live from Dearborn.